I'm going to speak briefly on a subject that you probably heard from different people time again. You can't change people. If you go into a relationship with a person, be in friendship, relationship, anything else like that, and you have the intention from the beginning of changing them, you will be disappointed every single time. You'll never get what you want because your intentions were ill in the first place. If you're not satisfied with what you're presented with, move on. Either adjust or move on. Because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen with these people. Let's say hypothetically you did find someone that has some of the qualities you want, but not all of the qualities you want because you're this all or nothing type person. You have no adjustment skills and you're not flexible. And let's say that person does get on board. Do you realize that's just a temporary situation so they can get whatever they want out of the relationship? Do you realize at some point the real them is going to come out? And if it doesn't come out in front of you, they're going to be real with somebody else. Because it wasn't in their nature to be this thing that you wanted them to be. It wasn't in their nature to begin with. But then you want to turn around and play the victim and play the blame game and blame them for not doing what you wanted them to do in the first place. Your intentions were ill from the jump. And this is simply karma coming back to beat you in the butt. Stop going into situations thinking that you can change people. If it's a situation that you think is a deal breaker or it might cause friction, ease back, slow down, or end it. But don't go full steam ahead knowing that that particular situation or circumstance is going to be a problem for you. Be real with yourself and be real with that person in the beginning. I make it a point anytime I get involved in romantic relationships, I try to put my information out there as quickly as I can in regards to certain sensitive matters. I let them know this is XYZ and this is what's going on. I do it in the beginning. And the reason why I do it in the beginning is because I am giving them the power to decide at that time whether or not they want to continue to take up with me. It's a time saver. It's a time saver. Do that in the beginning, because if I mess around 6 months from now or a year from now and find out something really major had gone on with you and you didn't say a word, see, that's deception in my book. It is. And don't get me wrong, there are a lot of things that in my life that I'm not proud of. There are a lot of mistakes that I've made with people and money and situations through my journey. That's why I'm sitting here talking to you, to let you know how imperfect I am. But the thing is that you've got to be honest. See, a lot of these people don't mention their problems to you because they haven't admitted that that situation was a problem in the first place, or it's been unresolved. That's how come they 9 times out of 10 they didn't come to you. Either that or they're too ashamed to talk about it. There are some things that are very, very hard to discuss. But if you've gotten close to that person and want that person to be a part of your life, and I had to learn this lesson the hard way, you've got to be honest about everything or else you're going to lose them. Some way for the fashion, you're going to lose them. And it's not going to be anybody's fault but your own. So please, don't go into the relationship thinking that you're going to change somebody just to suit you. No. First of all, what makes you think what you want is the best thing anyway? That's from your point of view. Maybe that person doesn't think what you think is important is not important. See, this is where communication is necessary. This is where it's necessary. And I'm going to speak in particular to the ladies. If you're interested in a man and you're really falling for him real fast and you see in the beginning he's got certain things going on in his life that you know for a fact that you're not capable of dealing with, either keep it casual or move on. But don't get serious, because you can't love him out of it. You know, one thing that I've noticed as I've gotten older, I've come across quite a few men that their mothers are still alive. God bless them. God bless you if your mother is still alive. But some of those mothers kind of meddle a little bit too much in their relationships, and that's part of the reasons why they don't have a woman. But there are some men that I dated that are younger than me, 30, 40 years old. You know, they're in their 30s and 40s. And they may have a mother or aunt or whoever it is that raised them. And let's say that there's a family gathering and I'm invited to go or whatever, you know, and the conversation gets a little deep. And let's say the family starts to like you a little bit over time. Then this so-called caregiver comes to you and says, you know what, Jerry's been through a lot. And I'm just saying Jerry because the Jerrys that I dated never had this problem. I've only dated 1 or 2 Jerrys and they never had this problem. So this is hypothetical. This is my disclaimer, okay? So if Jerry, you're listening to this and you remember who I am, I'm not talking about you, so please don't hit my DM. Anyway, Mama comes to you and says, you know what, Jerry's had a lot of problems in the past and everything, and it's been a struggle. But I believe all he needs is the love of a good woman, and he'll be just fine. Red flag. Red flag. Because you think Mama hasn't told this story to many other women before? Jerry's got some major problems. If Mother is coming to you talking about all you need to do is love him out of it, Jerry's got some major problems. First of all, Mama's pitch hitting for Jerry, and Jerry's 30-some years old, 40-some years old. Why is Mama pitch hitting for Jerry? Why is Mama trying to set Jerry up all the time? And why would Mama come out her mouth and say something like that? That's telling me right there, Jerry's got some major problems, and he needs more than love of a woman. Maybe he needs to get his ass whooped. Maybe he needs to get locked up. Maybe he needs to go to see a psychiatrist. Maybe he needs to go back to school. Maybe he needs to keep a job. Maybe he needs to get rid of that crazy baby mama. Maybe he needs to leave alone that crazy ex-girlfriend. Those are things that will probably prevent Jerry from having a fruitful relationship with other people, because Jerry has got too much unfinished bullshit in his life, or Jerry has mental problems, or Jerry has a bad attitude. Ain't no amount of love is going to change all of that. There's a time and a place where you have got to seek external help, people. Love is wonderful. I'm all about love. I believe everyone should have someone to love, but let's not be so much in love that we leave our senses. Come on. There are some things that you are not capable of handling and that require external forces. They require professional help. They require some kind of counseling. They require some type of formalized education or knowledge or training that you do not have. So please, if it's a deal breaker in the beginning, when you're with this person and it's a situation and you know for a fact that you need more than love to address it, you need to do either one or two things. Sit down with this person and come up with a plan to resolve it, or leave it alone. But don't go in there thinking that you could just love them out of a situation, because you're going to wind up the one hurt in the end. Just saying.